Alrighty.
What's up?
So today we're doing a podcast. Why don't you let them know?
Alright, so we're going to be talking about movies that we think will be classics in the next, 20, 30 years? In the future. We'll just leave it at that. What are some examples of classics today? Like, we have The Godfather, we have The Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm. Movies like that. You have even Fight Club,
Yeah.
Taxi Driver.
Citizen Kane.
Exactly.
Chinatown. List goes on and on. You guys know what a classic
Gone with
is.
the Wind.
Yes.
Although I can't stand it.
So, basically, what are going to be this generation's classics? We have a handy dandy list right here, and we're just going to read from it. The first film, and this is in no particular order.
No, absolutely no particular order whatsoever.
There are some films that I think will be more, well received later on, but all of these I think will find an audience. Starting with The Departed, Martin Scorsese, DiCaprio, with him again, and those two guys will be on the list again. With another film.
Sure.
But The Departed, it's such a good modern crime thriller. I love every aspect of this film. Jack Nicholson is great. Mark Wahlberg gives one of his best performances. Matt Damon. It's a great cast. It's a great movie. Unpredictable. It's just a solid crime thriller. You really couldn't ask for much more, and I think people are going to look back at it and really love it. So...
for sure. And the next movie we have on our list is The Town. Another movie set in Boston.
And it's a crime thriller directed by Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck is a beast, bro.
Yeah, he really is. Batman is killing it. This is my favorite Ben Affleck directed film. And I really do like Argo as well.
Yeah, Argo won an Oscar for it.
Yeah, and The Town didn't win an Oscar, but I think The Town is going to be a little bit more remembered. I don't know why, I just have this feeling. Kind of like The Departed again. A great crime thriller. And just
great heist movie. One of my favorite heist movies of all
sure.
time.
Jeremy
right up
Renner
there with Ocean's 11.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner gives one of his best performances.
I've never seen Jeremy Renner in such a role with actual character.
Yeah, Hawkeye's whatever, but
yeah, Hawkeye's just
so yeah. The Town, I think it's going to be a classic.
Phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
Next, The Dark Knight. I mean, that just goes without saying.
Yeah, out of every single film we wrote down, I think The Dark Knight is the most, for sure.
Yeah, the most obvious choice.
Is this already a classic? I think in its own, it's kind of already a classic, but in 20 years, I think it's going to be known as the best movie of all time.
Yep, and this is your favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, and The Dark Knight is just.
It's
do we really have to say anything?
Redefine comic book movies.
Yeah, I don't think we have to say much about it.
Nope. And next we have Drive, which happens to be my favorite movie of all time. Just a phenomenal movie. The best movie directed by Nicholas Winding Refn.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites as well.
This movie is already turning into a classic. I mean, this movie already has a big following. I mean, the camera work in this movie speaks for itself. This movie, Drive, phenomenal.
And the style, too. I think that's what people... That's why I think it'll become a classic.
For sure.
The style.
Just totally shook up the...
Let's talk about the other Scorsese film that's also starring DiCaprio, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, this movie is Leonardo DiCaprio having sex and doing drugs for 3 hours, and I love every minute of it.
Yeah, I don't even love this movie. I really like it and I really enjoy it, but I just think it has this energy and this vibe to it, and I think that younger generations are gonna just fall in love with this movie. And plus, it's a brilliant film. It's really well made.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese is a phenomenal filmmaker. Taxi Driver, The Departed, Aviator, all these movies are phenomenal. And
Scorsese's just killing it.
Yep, one of the best directors
to ever live.
To ever live, honestly.
Let's talk about another one of the best directors to ever live, Quentin Tarantino. We have 2 films on here from him.
And they both involve vengeance.
And revenge, yeah, and they're epic.
Inglourious Bastards and Django.
Yeah, both movies, phenomenal movies, perfect films. I love both. And they're definitely going to be classics.
Inglourious Bastards is my favorite Tarantino movie of all time. In the end scene, Brad Pitt says, you know what? I think this just might be my masterpiece, and I think that sums up Inglourious Bastards perfectly.
Screen Junkies, yeah. Django Unchained happens to be my favorite Tarantino movie, and I mean, for good reason. It's a brilliant film, and I think
And I think because of the redemption aspects is what makes these movies like so fun to watch and just so well made. Tarantino, obviously.
Oh yeah, he just so unbelievable. The characters, the villains, especially in Inglourious Bastards.
Christoph Waltz, what a phenomenal actor when he's in a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, he just
without Tarantino, Christoph Waltz is nothing.
Yeah, I really don't. He's just kind of in
Legend
something.
of Tarzan. Have you seen Legend of Tarzan?
I watched some of it, and I was like, yeah, this is okay.
Yeah,
But
I
didn't
actually am
Yeah.
quite a big advocate of that movie because it's one of my guilty pleasures. But Christoph Waltz is terrible in it.
Yeah, I can see it being a good guilty pleasure for sure.
Anyway, moving on. We have next. Where were we? I don't even know what's happening with this list. It's all ripped up because you did the Interstellar demonstration with it, where you poked a pencil. Never mind.
Right, yeah, okay.
Next we have There Will Be Blood. I actually haven't seen this movie. You may as well just kill me now.
Yeah, you can just Paul Thomas Anderson, which you didn't. I think you know who it is. You may have just forgotten. I certainly hope you know those guys, though, if you're into film.
Yeah, I just started getting into movies, like, really hardcore, so forgive me if I get something wrong.
Paul
In this
Thomas
case,
Anderson.
I didn't know who Paul Thomas Anderson was, and, I mean, you made it seem like I basically may as well just crawl in a hole and die.
Well, okay, this dude made There Will Be Blood, and this movie will be a classic in the future. Daniel Day-Lewis gives one of the best
I
performances.
love Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis is basically just like the best actor of all time. And this, I would say, honestly, it's hard to say it's his best performance because every performance he does, he nails it. But this honestly is easily one of his best. He transforms in this movie. He is just the last scene alone. I'm not going to spoil it. Paul Dano's in it as well, and he's great. The cinematography, the tension. It's a very slow burn kind of movie, but if you can hang in there, it is absolutely incredible. So well written, and for sure will be a classic.
For sure. Next we've got Birdman or the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, or just Birdman.
Yeah,
just call it Birdman.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the Oscars? Come on, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
Birdman's one of the best movies I think ever made.
The cinematography, best cinematography like I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, just
and not because
there
it's
you
got
go.
these wide, beautiful shots of you know oceans and stuff like that. Like literally, the way this movie is edited and shot is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Just one long tracking shot.
Yeah.
Take the ending of True Detective season 1, episode 4, and then just make it into a full-length movie about Michael Keaton. That's Birdman.
Yeah, it really is about Michael Keaton, and I love it. Has so many themes and so many things it's talking about, like big blockbusters and superhero movies
And critics.
This movie is absolutely amazing. It won Best Picture.
And Edward Norton, by the way.
So good.
I love that guy.
Yeah, Michael Keaton's one of his best performances. One of Edward Norton's best performances.
And Emma Stone's in it as well.
Yeah, and Zach Galifianakis actually gives a good performance. Like, that guy is usually pretty typecast, the fat guy from the Hangover movies. That's what everyone knows him for. But he is actually really good in this movie. It's a perfect film, and I think this is going to be one of those movies that's, like, shown to college students, like, who are going to film.
This will, like you said, I think if you're an aspiring filmmaker, you need to see Birdman.
Yeah, this is incredible. Moving on.
And now a movie from 2013, the year before Birdman came out, 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, and Birdman won Best Picture. 12 Years a Slave won Best Picture.
Back-to-back years.
Yeah, 12 Years a Slave. I mean, it just has that classic feel to it, and I think
the kind of Shawshank Redemption kind of feel.
Exactly, 100%. And it's just a really well-made film, and
Michael Fassbender. What a great actor.
God. And Chiwetel Ejiofor, who's very underrated. He is great in this movie.
Could you just open editing software?
Lupita Nyong'o is great in that movie. It's a great cast and a very emotional, powerful film. It's gonna stay with audiences for a while, so for sure.
Next we have Avatar. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Avatar. I think that it's got a pretty cliched plot. But the visuals in Avatar are some of the best I mean, James Cameron did a great job with
Yeah.
the visuals in this movie. I think the visuals alone in Avatar will propel it to be a classic one day. And I mean, just all the hype surrounded by it.
The fact
when it
that
first came out.
Yeah, the fact that it's the number one highest grossing film of all time. I mean, it's destined to be a classic.
Yeah.
So,
mhm.
so Avatar, whether you love it or hate it,
It will be
gonna
classic.
It's
I'm
gonna
not-
be. I don't know if it'll be necessarily like cherished by everybody, but it will be talked about. in the
No,
future.
yeah, Avatar gets a lot of hate. It's like the cool thing to hate on Avatar,
Right.
but love it or hate it, the visuals are just absolutely stunning.
Now we wrote a few in here that we're not 100% sure, but one of them was The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg and a
Coked out, skinny Christian Bale. He
Exactly.
needs to eat some food.
and Amy Adams, and this is directed by David O. Russell. He's a great director, and he has a few other films on here.
Sorry, can I just get something off my chest?
Go ahead.
Every time I think of Christian Bale now, I think of Terminator Salvation. I just needed to get that off.
You gotta get it out of your mind, bro. Get it, like the actual movie or like his flip out, or both.
Just the movie. Like, at least it's better than Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines.
I don't know.
Let's move on.
Is
Let's
Oh, well, they just both suck. Let's forget about them. Yeah, but The Fighter, one of the best boxing movies I've ever seen in my life. So there you go.
There you go. Oh, and then we've got Whiplash, the best music movie I've ever seen in my life. Actually, that's not true. I don't know. For me, it is. Whiplash, I love Whiplash. Damien Chazelle's first movie, I believe.
Yeah,
Damien Chazelle's first movie, did a great job
that
with
is
it.
so impressive.
Oh, and the chemistry between J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller is phenomenal. This was my favorite movie of 2014. Everything about this movie is perfect, and the third act of this movie, I mean, just the ending of this movie blew me away. Blew me away.
Yeah, and saying it's the best of 2014 is saying like it's pretty much like the best thing ever
Because 2014, phenomenal year. Birdman.
and like 3,000 other movies.
Yeah, and 4,000
So
other freaking movies.
yeah, Whiplash, tremendous writing, very quotable film, very just
Give a
it-
retard a calculator, and I'll try to turn on the TV.
with it. I also loved it's very rewatchable. It's got different elements. It's,
Very rewatchable.
like you could find this movie funny, you could find it super dark and sad. It really
I
just
find them all of the above.
Exactly.
It's all of the above. Next,
It's great.
arguably the best Bond film of all time,
Yep.
Casino Royale. Came out in 2006.
the opening scene alone,
Mm-hmm.
just the awesome action scene, that's going to be remembered. And it really just it took Bond and flipped it on its head kind of and made it more dark.
Yeah. And the
it's
villain, one of my favorite Bond villains of all time.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's not just some evil overlord, you know,
Yeah, the
just
torture scene.
smoking a pipe and, you know,
Right.
stroking his cat. This guy's got real legitimate motivations that you can get behind. I mean, you'll feel bad for him.
I think Christoph Waltz, we were talking about him earlier, in Inspector, I think he's actually like petting a cat.
Oh my god, that is like the most generic villain, especially for a Bond villain. That is like the
yeah,
Bond
come
villain.
on. I'm actually in the minority. Like, I actually really enjoyed Spectre, but Christoph Waltz really needs to just get back together with Tarantino.
Yeah, Tarantino is Christoph Waltz's.
Especially because Tarantino's only got
Yeah.
a few left. But anyways, yeah, Casino Royale, I would
Next.
say the best Bond film.
Yeah, now we've got an animated movie in Inside Out.
Yeah, if there's one animated movie that I think's going to transcend against a ton of people, then yeah, it's Inside Out.
Inside Out, great concept. How has nobody thought of that before, actually? Next, my favorite action movie of 2015, which is actually saying a lot, because there's a lot of great action movies in 2015, which is Mad Max, Fury Road, George Miller, returning to the Mad Max series.
Best Mad Max of all time.
Yeah, you could totally say that. Some would argue the Road Warrior, some would say the original, and nobody likes Beyond Thunderdome. But honestly, Mad Max Fury Road,
yeah.
is my favorite Mad Max movie. Just the color palette is beautiful. Some of the beautiful wide shots, the way this action is done in this movie, very intense.
And like the
very
best stunt
great.
work I've ever seen. So
Oh, great stunt work.
it will be remembered. For
How many
sure.
cars do you think they went through trying to film Mad Max?
Like 2 billion?
Yeah. Next, we have another 2015 movie, Force Awakens. Star Wars The Force Awakens. Everybody's favorite movie of 2015, except for ours.
Yeah.
Now, we weren't, fanboying out about The Force Awakens, saying it was the best movie of 2015. I did for a little bit, but then I was like, nah. But The Force Awakens is honestly, it's a Star Wars movie. Of course it's going to be a classic. Star Wars is just the definitive, sci-fi franchise. You've got Star Trek, but I think Star Wars is just, everybody loves Star Wars. Who doesn't like even Christopher Nolan loves Star Wars.
Yeah, I think Star Trek, the one that came out in 2009, could become maybe a classic.
Oh yeah, it could be a classic.
But yeah, The Force Awakens.
Abrams. Either way, J.J. Abrams is a genius.
Yeah.
When it comes to sci-fi, anyway.
Yeah, he's great. And Force Awakens, it's a Star Wars film, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Oh, our other favorite of 2015. Well, our favorite of 2015 probably won't be a classic, but I would say it's a maybe. The Hateful Eight. I think if enough people see it, I think enough people will actually appreciate it.
I think that's a maybe. I don't think. I mean, obviously, Inglourious Basterds and Django Unchained have a far higher chance.
Yeah, I think people
classic.
mix Django Unchained and Hateful Eight up a lot, and Django Unchained is liked a lot more, obviously. But hopefully some people will actually check out The Hateful Eight. Next, we have The Social Network, David Fincher, and Lex Luthor. There you go.
Lex Luthor's in this movie.
They actually made a movie about Facebook, interesting, and just, it's Fincher, you could say, I wouldn't say this, but a lot of people say it's Fincher at his best.
And that's saying something, because everything Fincher touches turns to gold. Enough said.
There you go.
Next, we have another animated movie, which is the Lego Movie.
I mean, it's
the animation in this movie is so revolutionary.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Lego Ninjago on Cartoon Network, but that's just CG animation made to look like Legos. This is legit Legos, bro.
Yeah, the mixture was great, and the cast, and it's so funny, and it's actually a very original film, and it's touching, and I still hear people talking about it today. It's great.
And Will Ferrell actually was funny in a role outside of Anchorman.
Yeah, the Lego Movie still stands as one of my favorite animated movies. Next up, we have Her. I think Her is going to find its audience. Her is actually really well loved, and I think it has more of a cult following, but I think if more people check it out, I think it can potentially become a classic, because Spike Jonze did a great job with this movie, Joaquin Phoenix, and Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson.
They killed it. This movie is sad, but it's honest, and it's a beautiful film. It looks amazing. Her.
Her. Next we're moving into Nolan.
Another
Nolan movie. Interstellar. Interstellar is and always will be, maybe not always, I don't know. But right now, for me anyways, the best theater experience I've ever had in my life.
Always.
Interstellar is a phenomenal film, very well made, love it or hate it. Interstellar will be a classic one day. It's already gaining popularity. I think Interstellar...
It's already kind of a classic.
Interstellar, I think, is the next 2001 A Space Odyssey. Enough said. Interstellar is just a phenomenal film.
Yeah, I think the only theater experience that could beat it was Batman in Space.
Yeah, or Avatar. Actually, no, I'm gonna kill myself.
Okay, Avatar is a great theater experience, but Interstellar in IMAX, and you're actually doing it. Please don't kill yourself. It's okay. You can take it back. Interstellar.
I need a hug, bro.
I'll hug. Yeah, okay. Interstellar is the next 2001. It's as simple as that, and I think people will call it the best movie of all time in like 20 years.
And the next Paprika. Inception.
I mean, basically everything we said about The Dark Knight and Interstellar follows with Inception.
Inception is just a great... Inception took action heist movies and flipped it on its head. Inception is just a completely new genre of mind-bender, action-y heist movie. And Leonardo DiCaprio's in it. And that's
and Tom Hardy and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Great cast. Amazing.
Ken Watanabe.
Yeah, Ellen Page. Michael Caine.
By the way, my favorite line from Ken Watanabe, it's in Batman Begins. You must do what is necessary. Sorry, I just needed to get that out of my system.
Yeah, Inception, obviously, it will be a classic.
By the way, just quick side note, the whole time we've been shooting this video, I've been trying to open my editing software in the background, but it will not work, so this is an issue. Move on.
Okay. Let's talk about...
I just felt like you needed to know that.
Yeah, you really do need to know that. American Hustle, another David O. Russell film.
And another time that Christian Bale just
just destroyed
can
his.
warp his body.
Yeah, American Hustle. Everything we said about Wolf of Wall Street kind of applies
Is Christian
here.
Bale a shapeshifter?
I think he's just an alien.
That would make sense.
But American Hustle, great cast. Bradley Cooper, Amy Adams, Louis C.K. is in this movie. It's so fun to watch. The vibe is perfect. You feel like you're in that era. And it's
Just a movie filled with superheroes.
Yeah. Jennifer Lawrence is so good in that movie. Jeremy Renner. It's a great film, and
Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye. Amy Adams is
Lois Lane.
Lois Lane, and Jennifer Lawrence is Mystique. Christian Bale's Batman.
And Bradley Cooper's Rocket.
Yeah. This movie is just a superhero movie.
This movie's it's very, very well made. It's great. It will be most likely.
And that is all we have for today, guys. Actually, no, that's not true. We have some honorable mentions.
Okay,
Let's
just a few.
rattle them off.
Prisoners, another David Fincher film. Gone Girl, Guardians of the Galaxy, probably one of the most loved Marvel films.
I don't think Prisoners is a David Fincher film.
No, I said Gone Girl.
Oh, well, kill me.
You want me to kill you, or are you gonna kill yourself? I don't know. Silver Linings Playbook, another David O. Russell film. This movie's actually very well loved. Finally, out of all of these, what are like the few that like you're most sure about will become the classics? Not your personal favorites, but
Jupiter Ascending.
oh, dude, that movie. It's gonna make it big.
No, but in all seriousness, I think that There Will Be Blood will definitely be classic. Birdman and The Dark Knight are my 3
You think?
definitive classics.
All right. That's tough. All right, I'll name. Okay, The Dark Knight. That's one you said. I'll say 2 more. Okay.
Okay.
Django Unchained. This movie.
Django Unchained is a lot of N-words.
It's a great movie.
Could you just open editing? I'm just gonna restart my computer. Why
and
have I not done this yet?
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Guaranteed.
It'll be the next 2001.
It's the next 2001, so it's guaranteed. And then yeah, Django Unchained and The Dark Knight. There you go.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time. This was kind of a chilled back. I just made up a term. This was kind of a laid back video, and I like videos like this. We can just talk. Two dudes.
Goldfish?
Yeah, 2 dudes eating goldfish, complaining about editing softwares, and talking about movies that'll be classics one day. That's all I want to watch on YouTube. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time. Click the subscribe button if you haven't. Click the like button if you haven't, or click the dislike button. I don't care.
Well, I'm gonna go eat some mac and cheese, and I'll see you later.
And I'm gonna go watch The Hateful Eight, and I'll see you later.
All right.